Nobody designed it this way. It just became the default. And we built every event around it ever since without really asking why.
A lot of planners have gotten numb to a lot of the issues that you just got everybody to visualize because there is no other option. And we just all accept the status quo and just, this is how it is.
Here you've done all this work, right? You've spent 6 months building up anticipation for your event, all the emails, all the messaging, all the hard work, all choosing everything down to the last possible detail. And then the first thing that your attendee experiences is a line in the foyer. And if you're lucky, 8 minutes later, they're getting their badge and all of that energy, all of that buildup is just gone. And your registration folks, like they're not welcoming anyone. They're processing people.
It seems like the most common misconception we hear from the events community is that pre-printing is the cheapest option when budgets are tight.
Pre-printing looks cheap when you're just looking at the invoice, but it doesn't take into account all kinds of invisible costs. There's the list management itself, right? There's the shipping of the badges from the printer to where you're going. There's reprints for misspellings. There's batch 1, there's batch 2. They got to be uploaded. They got to be sorted. There's title, somebody's title changes, and now you got to go back and get them into the next print round. And then you're probably still going to need a separate on-demand printer for anybody that just happens to walk in. So now you're still bringing stuff on site. And then there's the 200 badges that you just throw in the trash from the people that didn't show up. And the budget case for pre-printing it really only works if you ignore all of those hidden costs. A badge without a working QR code is just a name tag. There's no session tracking. There's no lead retrieval for your sponsors or your exhibitors. There's no networking tools. There's no post-event data generated about who attended what session.
This is really what unlocks a lot of operational efficiency for a lot of events. Not only it does your check-in and the printing, it's also the tool that event planners can use for their session check-in. They can use it for access control, for private or paid sessions. It does capacity management. And that volunteer that you have by the door, instead of just scanning, they actually have real insight into who is reserved.
When most people think about checking in their attendees for an event, this is what they think about: a ballroom foyer. After all, it's probably 90% of why a ballroom foyer exists, so that you can check people in, maybe have a cocktail hour, and then go into the main venue space. But it doesn't have to be that way, does it? What if you wanted to check in here, in the lobby, while your guests are waiting to check into their hotel rooms? Or what if you wanted to check in here, at the hotel lobby bar, the night before, so that people don't have to rush down in the morning and stand in line just to get into the venue? Or what if you want to skip all that and go directly to the pool, check in people there? Mai Tais, anyone? Or what if you want to check in your attendees here?
Or here.
Or what if you wanted to check in here?
Or here.
Or for some reason, here. I mean, maybe you just really like IKEA. We're not judging.
I'd like to be able to check in here. Or here.
Or what if you wanted to check in here?
Houston, we'd like to check in here, please.
Negative ISS. Wi-Fi bandwidth is for essential use only.
Okay, so maybe we're not quite there yet, but for everything else, we're ready. It's time to escape the lobby. We wanted to give you the ability to put check-in anywhere without specialist staff, without an enterprise budget, without a setup process.
Think about all the different ways you can welcome your attendees now instead of having a jam lineup right by the door. Golf course, rooftop patio, multiple venues at your next event. Now possible with the new BadgeON Stand.
You can use this as a draw and be like, hey, check in the night before at this location when you're having kind of like a welcome reception at an offsite event. So possibilities could be anything.
I don't ever want to be restricted as to where I want to check in my attendees, because if we think about just the core aspect of what an event is, it can exist anywhere at any time.